Hello, 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 everybody. Great to see you guys once again. For those of you who know me, I'm Leo, the creator of Hyperspace Code. And for those who do not know me, I run the YouTube channel Hyperspace, and I also sell some resources and tutorials for people who want to break into the field of tech. The aim and the purpose of this channel is to release resources to let people know where they can find help when you're stuck trying to break into the field of tech. And the um, the purpose of this channel is that we're trying to build a community of friends. All right, that's what we are. We're a community of friends. We are just trying to help each other out. We share resources with each other. We share information with each other. We share platforms with each other. And I know many of you guys watching me are from ALX, and I'm also still in ALX, currently working on my portfolio projects. And shout out to every ALX person watching me. If you're an ALX, you can drop in the comment section below that, hey, ALS cohort 11, ALS cohort 14, ALS cohort 13, whatever code you're watching us from. You can just drop that in the comment section below. And if you are watching the replay of this podcast, then you can just shout out in the comment section as well. A replay farm. Right. Today, I have something very wonderful for you guys, something amazing. I have some very wonderful people here with me whose faces you're going to be seeing very soon. And these are friends of mine. We are all on the same journey, trying to do something relevant and valuable in the tech industry. Okay, these are very wonderful girls. They are warriors. That's what I call them. Okay, they are warriors, and we all know that the tech field is a male-dominated industry. So the moment we see females who are pushing and are doing great in the field of tech, then we know that man, these are not like the others. These are very special people, and these are the kind of people that I have here with me. I'm going to bring them up on the stage in a second, and I'm going to introduce them briefly, and then I'll leave the rest for them. They have some things to tell you. They're going to share their lives with you. They're going to share their journey with you. Then you're going to be happy by the time you're done watching this this podcast. I'm happy to have all of you here once again and meet my girls. So happy to see you guys here. Guys, how are you all doing? How are you all
Hello.
doing? Everybody can
Hi.
see you.
Hi.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
Yes, everybody can hear you. And I can see in a comment section that somebody saying that I am Aloha watching from cohort 14. All right, guys. So you see on our screen we have some beautiful ladies. I'm gonna do a brief introduction and then I'm gonna leave the rest for them to introduce themselves. Okay. To my very top, you can see Abena in her eagles. Yes, you can just wave at us when I mention your name. Abena Tima. And then to Abena's left is Rosita. Rosita is from South Africa. And then right below me, you can see Pamela. Pamela is from Zimbabwe. And then we have Mariam. Mariam is from Egypt. All right. We are supposed to have Dara here too, but unfortunately, Dara is having an issue with her network. So when she comes back on board, I'm just gonna bring her back on, and then we're gonna give her a shout out. All right. Okay. So, girls, let me start with Abena. Tell us who you are, what you do, and then we'll move straight to Rosita. All right. Talk to us. You're on mute, by the way. Don't talk on mute. All right. Abena, let's start with you. Who are you?
Hi,
Where do you come
I
from? What do you do?
yeah. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Great. Hi everyone, my name is Abena from Ghana. I am currently in ALS cohort 14, and yeah, I am here to share my journey with you. So,
Wonderful. I thought you were gonna say more because you are usually the talkative. All right. Abina is
well,
always on my case. Of course, definitely. She's always like, write Betty compliant code. I'm like, to hell with Betty. Man, we're tired. Rosita. Go ahead. Tell us who you are, what you do.
Hi everyone, I'm Rosita U. I am now in cohort 15. That's because I deferred a couple of times. I was actually in was it cohort 12 or 13? Some of it. Oh yes,
Amazing,
and I'm a
Rosita.
part of ALX.
That's amazing, Rosita. All right, now let's go to Pamela. Tell us who you are and then what you do. I know you're a businesswoman. You better talk about that.
Hi everyone. My name is Pamela, all the way from Zimbabwe. Uh, I'm in cohort 17. I deferred from cohort 14, but though I'm still struggling. And yes, I'm a businesswoman. Yeah, that's that.
Tell us what business do you do? We might end up patronizing your services.
It's not related to Alex. It's not related to this tech though. I'm selling clothes from Shein, online clothing. I guess everyone knows Shin, so that's what I'm doing at the moment. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So you were actually in business and then you decided to go into tech. We'll come to that later. Let's not drink the soup from the fufu. All right.
Thank you.
Mariam, talk to us.
Hello, I'm Mariam. I'm from Egypt and I'm in cohort 14. And I'm also in university. I study electronics in Cairo University.
Wow, that's amazing. That means that like you are actually in a full-time program and you're doing ALX in addition to it.
Yeah,
Your brain is very good. I'm telling you, because ALX alone, it's like a full-time job. So being in
I'm
school and being in
studying
ALX,
24/7.
you're gonna tell us about more about that in a minute. Okay, you're gonna tell us. So you can see that based on the introductions that you guys have given, I can tell that all of you are coming from non-tech backgrounds. So I don't know about Rosita. Do you have like a tech background?
Oh no, I started getting into tech through ALX.
Wow. So it's apparent that none of you are coming from tech backgrounds, but you guys have decided to do tech. And that is what makes me wonder. There's so many things to do in this world. You could do anything. And someone like Pamela is already in business. I've been watching her WhatsApp set status, and I'm telling you, she's a serious businesswoman. All right. And you guys just wake up one day and be like, I'm gonna do tech. And I'm not just gonna do tech like I want to do something like business tech or something. You guys are actually developers. You code. You guys are doing C programming. You guys are doing Python. You guys are doing JavaScript. And someone like Rosita is actually doing front end and back end at the same time. I don't even know how she's doing it. Now, my question. This is the question I want to ask you guys. Let me start with Mariam over there. Why did you decide to go into the field of tech? What what motivated you? And I want you to talk from this background because there are lots of young women out there listening to you who are afraid to do what you're doing. Okay. So I want you to have that at the back of your mind that there's someone out there who's afraid to do what I'm doing. So what I'm gonna say probably might motivate them. Okay. So why did you decide to go into the field of tech? What was your motivation?
The main reason I decided to go into tech is because I realized that most of the problems we face daily can be solved mm, by technology. It's when you're using your laptop, when you're using your phone, there are lots of tasks that you have to do. It doesn't depend on the field that you're working into, but tech can help you in every and each possible way possible, right? Because if you are a teacher, you can utilize tech for maybe grading your students. If you're someone who works in the medical field, you can use something like Excel to store the medical reports of your patients. Tech can be helpful in every possible way. So I started with tech to help me fix my own problems that I was facing when I was using my laptop or doing any tasks, and that's how I began basically. And then I realized that there was more into it. I don't have to help myself only, but I can also help other people. So I wanted to learn more and more and start thinking about other problems that are not related to me but related to the community. And I think this is the reason that I am able to continue, because when you think of people who are helpless, people who maybe do not have the capability to learn what you're learning, and these people, they are facing problems too, and feeling that you can actually help by studying and learning, this is what motivates me to keep on pushing, to fix my own
That,
problems and to help the community.
that's amazing, Mariam. That's amazing. So for you, you're coming into tech because you're seeing your own problems. You're like, this field is not limited. You can be in any
Mhm.
field and still be in tech. So even though I'm a teacher, I'm in a hospital, anything I'm doing, I can actually add tech to it. So that was your motivation for coming to tech. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Let's go with Rosita. Talk to us.
Oh, well, so I studied electrical engineering, and I noticed that while studying it, it's not something that I was really passionate about. I didn't see myself working as an electrical engineer. So I went on Google and I started searching more things like nanotechnology and all of that. That's actually what led me to seeing software engineering and web development, which was actually scary, but then I decided to try it out. And when I got into it, that's when I realized that, okay, there's a lot of women who are not aware of this. And I would really, really, really like to also inspire younger girls like me from backgrounds similar to mine, to get into tech. So I have to do it myself so that I can be able to inspire the others. And it actually aligns with the goals that I have set for myself and the type of life that I want to live.
Wow, that's amazing. I was actually on your Twitter. That was like 2 months ago, and I saw that you were sharing your tech journey. Everything for those of you who are watching, everything about Rosita's tech journey, you're gonna find it on her Twitter. It's like the moment I go on her Twitter, I see everything that she's doing. I'm like, oh, this girl is doing too much, man. I wish I was like her. She's a strong woman. And she's actually cataloged her whole journey, the resources that she's using. I tell you, you're gonna find some really cool resources when you go on her Twitter. So I'm gonna leave the link in the description. You can just click on it and visit her Twitter. So let's go with let's go with Pamela. Tell us, why did you decide to jump into tech? Okay.
To be honest, uh, I just saw an advert on Facebook. I didn't know anything about tech or whatever because in my country there's no much of this, not much of anything like this. So when I was on Facebook, I then saw an ad. I then went to the ad. I saw that it's something ALX for free software engineering. I then went through that. So I just started registering there, and then that's how I got to software engineering in ALX. So I don't know much about this, and I don't have any background. Even in my family, there's no one who's doing this. In my country, it's not that much, and I'm from the villages, so you won't hear anyone talking about it. So I just want to change that. So yeah, that's
Narrative. Yeah.
yeah, that's that.
Wow.
It's
So
nothing
you're
much.
like a trailblazer from where you come from. You are actually setting the example for people to see
Yes,
you and to say that, whoa, look at Pamela. Pami. The businessman,
that's
she's
what I
doing
want
it.
to do. And
Exactly.
then maybe I can change that in my village. Maybe a lot of people might be interested. And yeah,
Well, I have good news for you. Some very interesting people are watching you. So, um, hopefully after this show, some of them are going to reach out to you. Or you reach out to them, and then they are going to help you on this journey. It's going to be amazing. That's the whole point
okay.
of this community. Yes, the whole point of this
I'll
community
I'll
is
really
connection.
appreciate that. I would really
Yes, so
appreciate it.
we're going to be connected to everybody on the platform. Right now,
Oh,
to the
thank
talkative.
you.
Abena, please talk to us.
Hi. I do not know why Leo insists I'm a talkative. I'm actually quite shy. But anyway, yeah, I actually loved when Pamela answered because I really relate to that. I basically joined because like I saw the ad I was like, this is interesting. There's this kind of joke that my friends have. They feel like I'm a serial student. I'm always looking for opportunities to learn. So getting into tech was basically upskilling for me. And then I started, and I was like, this is interesting. And every time I used to see code, probably in movies, in other venues, I'm like, okay, this is messy, there's a lot. But now you are coding, you are writing these scripts, and you understand what's happening. You're like, oh, okay, this is exciting. So I don't have any grand reasons or anything. I mean, granted, a lot of what Mariam said makes sense. Like, tech is everywhere. You can literally automate your life when you um, understand some basic concepts of technology. Technology is all around us. So, yes, that's what motivated me to start and stay with it.
That's amazing. That's great, Abena. So now, there's one thing I realized about the tech industry. I've been doing a lot of research on this whole tech industry, all right? And the statistics are startling, okay? According to what I found, some sources report that 73% of the industry is dominated by males. And even with the females who are in the field, they are not really climbing up the ladder that much. Check the major tech industries around. How many of them have CEOs that are females? So it makes us begin to wonder: is it because females are not being granted opportunity? And shout out to my friend Jesse, the curator of Chancellor City University. The last time I was in a conversation with him, and then he made a very interesting point. He's like, even during the study phase, for those of us who are in school, you realize that there are still a lot of males who are learning, and the females are still very few. And the same thing is translated to the job application process, so that the number of males who are sending applications for jobs are way more than the females who are trying to apply and break into the field of tech, right? So it becomes a really serious topic, especially in the bid to try and create equity in the entire field, that we intentionally, all right, that's the word I'm choosing, we intentionally create opportunities for women to to do well in this male dominated industry. And that is how come people like you are precious in this field, because you know a woman's mind works differently from a man's mind. You guys are very detail oriented. Now you tell me to sweep this room, you probably walk in and you're gonna see, wonder whether this room is swept or not. But you tell somebody, a female, to sweep this room, and they are so detailed. And we need that implemented in the field of tech as well. Well, I want to find out, right? Let's say from Rosita, okay? How is the tech landscape in your country? I know you are in South Africa, and South Africa is one of the most developed countries in Africa, okay? So if it's good at your end, then we have hope, all right? But if it's not good at your end, then we don't have hope, all right? I want to know, how is the tech landscape like, especially for women in your country? I think you're talking on mute.
I wasn't aware of that. But yeah, it still goes along with the statistics from your research. I believe about 26% of jobs in tech are actually held by women. So it's still the same worldwide, right?
Okay.
Um, it's not, the statistics are not different in South Africa. I think, aside from many other factors, another thing that contributes to this is information. Not many women are aware that the tech space is also for them to go and contribute to. Not many of us are aware of that. And we don't really have many role models that look like us. So if you do not have someone who looks like you to look up to, other women, as you said, CEOs in these tech companies, if you do not have that, it's a bit difficult for you to aspire to be something that you haven't really seen before. Another thing I've also noticed is mindset. Abena mentioned when she watches movies, she'd see code and all of that. And the same happened to me when I watched movies. I'd see maybe software engineers or maybe hackers, they're writing code and it seems so difficult, right? So when I see something that difficult, and every time the image that I see is a man doing it most of the time, I start to think, okay, no, this is not something I can do, right? So it works on my mentality, and how you think determines how you act, right? So if I think this is difficult and this might not be for someone like me, I'm not going to pursue it. That's when it's important for us to now change our mindset and say, okay, yes, this space is male dominated, but I'm also capable. I'm willing to learn. I'm capable of learning and grasping information fast. So I'm just going to get into it. I'm going to learn and I'll make it work.
That's amazing, Rosita. How is it like in Egypt, Mariam? How is the techscape like in Egypt?
It's just like what you said. The statistics are the same, and I agree with everything that Rosita just said. It's really heavily male dominated. I think last year I saw a picture. They gathered the software developers in Egypt who were using Swift language, and they took a group picture. There were only two women, only two, and I didn't even see them at first glance. It's really scary, to be honest. The thing is, when you see images like this, I feel like I do not belong there. Like, when I saw this image, it was when I was beginning my Swift journey, because I wanted to learn programming in Swift. And when I saw this, I was like, there's no place for me. I can't go in, and they're all men. I just cannot fit in right there. So I think the main problem is that, like Rosita said, we do not have many female role models. We want to see women doing things, to feel like we can do those things as well. And because we do not have those women, it's really hard to take that first step and be like, okay, if there's no role model, I'm gonna be that role model. It's difficult, and the mindsets are also not helping, because again, like Rosita said, I agree with everything that she said. Uh, we think, when we think of tech and code, and we think of stuff that's really difficult or really complex, and that image that we see of hackers in the movies. And unfortunately, I do not know if this is everywhere else, but here we are kind of told that women are not as smart as men. So yeah, coding is difficult, but men can do it. You're a woman, you cannot do coding. Maybe the most that you can do is maybe do UI or UX design. And women are good with colors, they are good with design. So go that way, do not go the tech way. Like, it's really said like that. Tech is not for women, it's really difficult. So yeah, I just what we really need is more role models to see and break that stereotype. We are smart. We can do what men are doing. We can do, like Leah said, our minds are not the same. Women think in different ways that men. So we need to utilize this and connect this, not take women completely away from tech. We need to bring everything together in order to make really good development in that field.
Wow, Mariam, that's amazing. That's amazing. You know, when you were speaking, you're bringing a lot of things to my mind. Like, what she's saying is very important, because STEM is also dominated by women. You know, science, technology, um, a lot of those fields, they are still dominated by men, and we still need women in these fields, like I was saying, because your mind is not precise. Some of the details that you can pick out, a man's brain does not work that way. So we are actually losing out on a lot, not having a lot of you guys out there. Okay, it's like a loss to our industry. It's a loss to the community, and that is why we really have to push this campaign and get as many women in this field as possible. Right? For then, shout out to ALX. I think they really did well with, I think, is it cohort 14, Abina? Your cohort was the women cohort,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your cohort was dedicated to just get a lot of women as much as possible to the field. So how is it like for you, Abena, in the field, tech here in Ghana, and how has it been for you in ALX? Share your journey with us.
Hmm. I mean, and like, I mean, Rosita and Mariam has said most of it. It's the same. It's the same data. There's not enough role models, or at least not enough that I know of. The information, the mindset, everything everything factors into it. So yeah, I feel like you said, ALS really tried with the all women cohort thing, but even so, because like that's one thing that really bothers me. Even so, with our cohort, when we started, we were like in the thousands, and we are going into our 8th month now, and the drop has been crazy. And I don't blame them because like AL is a great platform and it fosters peer learning. So if you don't have the community to be able to get that support and learn very well, it becomes hard. And I mean, especially for people who are new to the industry, which is the case for most of us, because like the program was free. It was a free scholarship. So a lot of people joined because, okay, well, if it's free, let me try it out. And if it doesn't work for them, I mean, if you had paid for it, you'll probably stick with it. But like if it's free, you're like, okay, I'm demotivated, and then you leave. So there are so many factors. Like I think it's still a work in progress, but there are so many things that can be checked in terms of putting out the information out there. That there are so many mentorship programs. I know of She Codes. I know of like women in tech. Like there are so many mentorship programs for specifically to women, but these are often restricted to a few people, like people like us who have access to the internet. How about the people who do not really, like the layperson who do not really have like enough resources to access these platforms? So it's a matter of education. Like it's everybody's responsibility, which makes this discussion very important as well. Because like sometimes you would think you need something grand to start. Like I mean, all that I was banking on was the fact that I know how to use a computer. I do have a computer, and I mean, like I said, I have this strange belief that I can learn literally everything that I put my mind to. So I'm like, okay, hey, it's tech. It looks scary, but I'll try it. So at the end of the day, I feel like we should not neglect these factors that comes into it because we are doing this talk. But like, if someone really wants to get into it, what are the support systems? What are the resources available? They do not have anybody looking up to them saying, oh, I saw this person do it and it was easy, so I can't do it. It's not necessarily easy, but it's just your willingness and all the other factors involved as well. So yeah, in Ghana personally, it's still very male dominated. Like currently, the people that I am like the little network that I have, the people that I'm connected to are mostly men already in the industry. I do have, like I always say, whichever platform I get, I always say this. I do have like a great steady community of women. I mean, because my cohort is women oriented, I managed to form connections with some great women who are dedicated to studying. Because like every time we are doing peer learning, I listen to them, I'm like, whoa. And if I'm being very honest, most of us are in our 30s. So you know how trying to learn in a much adult age is not quite easy. Most of these women have families, they are juggling businesses, they are juggling their families, they are juggling the education itself. And we are all in ALX and we know how not easy the program is. So like it's very encouraging because like I think who was it? Was it Rosita or Pamela? One of them said they had to defer from their course. I almost deferred because like
Yeah, that
it
was
was a lot.
Rosita. Pamela too.
Yes, yeah, it was a lot for me, but like because I had that support. So the conversation goes beyond gender, it goes beyond, I mean, currently the focus is on women because like women are like not a lot in the industry. But like it's a much bigger conversation and I feel like we have to consider all these factors. So yeah, for me, I don't really see a lot of women in STEM, especially tech coding. I mean, I know there are so many aspects to tech. You don't necessarily have to sit and code. But like when it comes to actual coding, I do not have a lot of women that I look up to in that regard or that I know of.
Oh, I mean, that was like heartwarming, and seeing that there are not many female role models in this field. I think Dennis Daddy in the comments is saying that in the absence of women role models, how are they motivating themselves to continue learning? There are not many female role models. Not like they are not wonderful women in tech that have caused groundbreaking innovations in the field. Like I could mention a number of names. There is Ada Lovelace. She's like one of the people who wrote the first female language. So we have had women in the field in the past who have done really amazing things, and you could go read on Google, research on them, and you'll be amazed and motivated. Okay, women have come into this field of tech and they have actually laid foundations that we are building on now. So the only challenge is that there are not that many. And one of the things sometimes I really ask myself, is it because of the nature of the life of a woman, especially in certain countries? The men are given more opportunities in the home life. Maybe the woman has to attend to certain responsibilities in the house. Now, these are thoughts that go through my mind. Let me throw this question to Pamela. Okay, I don't know if you're a mom, because I see you do a lot, and I've been following your socials. All right, how are you managing this tech journey and your personal life, your steady life balance, your work life balance? You're also running a business. How are you doing that?
Yeah, I'm a mom. I'm a mother of two, and I'm a family woman. Okay, yeah. So at the moment, I'm working and I'm also doing that business aside from work and this ALX again. I'm really struggling with with this ALX, but the thing is that I don't want to drop ALX because I really like ALX. I'm really grateful for this ALX program. So I'm really trying to work for all of these things. I'm really trying. I work from 8 to 4, and then with the kids I have to cook. I have to do everything. So it's a lot, but I'm
Do you
struggling.
sleep at all? Do you sleep? How many hours do you sleep in a day?
I think I sleep 8 hours, 8 or so, because yeah, I have to wake up early for the kids to go to school. Then after they go to school, I prepare for myself to go to work. Then yeah, it's a lot. Alex after work, so that's why I'm really behind. I can't even follow through the sessions. I don't follow the PLDs. It's really not working for me,
Well,
but I'm
Pamela, I
trying.
think you're in luck. I see in the comment section Kia Pepra. She happens to be someone who's very close to me, and this is not somebody who is just in the field of tech as a student or so. She works with an institution in the States, and I can see she's asking if she could connect with you after this. She's an agile coach who works with a very big industry institution in the United States of America. So I think you're in luck
Oh,
today. Okay. Yes. And she's asking if she connect with you after the show.
I would
So I'm
really
gonna do that.
appreciate that because I really need help. Cause yeah, I'm really struggling. I would
That's amazing.
appreciate.
I think all
Thank
of you
you.
girls on this show actually need to connect to her because she can help you a great deal. She is someone who is already working in the tech field. She knows what's happening out there, and she's
Oh
actually
wow.
working with guys. I don't even think perhaps maybe we'll have her on the show. Don't worry, I'll just have on one of the shows for us to tell us how she's actually handling the guys out there because she's probably one of the few females in the department in which she is. So after the show, I'm definitely gonna share your contact with her, and then she's gonna reach out to you, and let's see where the connection goes from there. All right. Congratulations to you in
Mm,
advance.
thank
All right.
you.
Let me talk to Mariam. All right. Um, you mentioned that when we started earlier, when you were introducing yourself, you mentioned that you barely sleep because you're
Yeah.
you're studying 24/7. How are you doing that? And is it not affecting your mental health? How are you doing that? Please share your journey with us. Talk to us.
Um, I'll be lying if I said that it's not affecting me, but it's not affecting me that much. For me, I really like my university and my college work. So, and I also like my ALEC studies. So like doing something that you like is what keeps you pushing through it. Because for me personally, I just keep thinking about my dreams and my aspirations. Whenever it gets too much, I'm like, I can give up right now. Like, just like Abena said, Alex is free, so I can drop out and I won't feel like any guilt. But I won't drop out because I like what I'm doing and I want to see myself as a software engineer. So, always thinking of the purpose of what you're doing, and always remembering that you're doing this because you have a dream, you have a goal that you want to achieve. Like have thinking like this is what keeps me pushing. So even though I do not get enough sleep, I do try to make a little bit of a balance. Like yesterday I had a project at Alex that I didn't attempt at all because I knew that I hadn't slept like in 3 days or something like this because of other projects. I was like, okay, I need to stop right now. I can do this in the second deadline, I can do this in the third deadline, but I need to sleep. So it's like this. I always try to push myself whenever I feel like I have the energy. If I feel like I can push just a little bit more, I'm gonna push that little bit more. And when I'm right at the edge, that's when I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stop right now, and I'm gonna continue later. So yeah, yesterday for me was a no study day. I didn't do anything. Like yeah, I didn't achieve anything yesterday, but instead, right now, today, I'm trying to see what I was pushing behind, and I'm trying to get back on track. So it's this push and pull thingy that keeps me going.
Sorry, I think I was talking on mute over there. Sorry, I
Yeah.
was on mute and trying to talk over there. So I was talking to Rosita. I was like, how is it like for you over there, with your personal schedules and then still studying everything?
Okay, so yeah, what I do is I tend to schedule a lot. I like to create a weekly schedule, and I tend to create it every Sunday night. I look at the nice thing about ALX is that it has a calendar, right? That shows us what we have to do for the month and everything else, right? So every Sunday night, I am going to write out the schedule for the week. The important stuff is usually the ALX projects. I'm going to put them in their section. And then the personal stuff, I am a sister, I'm a daughter. I have to take care of my loved ones as well and spend quality times with the people I love, right? So I need to find ways to get the work done for ALX and make time for my loved ones. So scheduling has helped me with that. Another thing, as Miriam said, is I also don't always submit everything on the first deadline. ALX is demanding, right? And since we are learning these things for the first time, my focus is mostly to learn, understand the concepts, and be able to apply them. So sometimes I'm going to take the whole day to learn concepts on OOP in Python, right? I'm going to take the whole day to understand classes, everything that I need to understand, and then I'm going to attempt the project. The goal is for me to learn. Yes, I do want to get good grades and have 200%, but I'm not going to focus on any of that. So doing that has helped make sure that I'm able to manage my time well and succeed in ALX. I think another thing when we're talking about time management, some people um, who don't who do not want to defer will just try to maybe copy and all of that, which is not going to help us on this journey. When you manage your time better, you're able to tackle what you need to do if you have a proper schedule. And then if you aren't able to tackle what you need to do or meet the requirements, you might have to defer, and that's okay.
That's amazing, Rosita. I mean, Rosita.
Yeah,
You know,
Leo.
yeah. Um, I I really have very good friends in the ALX program. Some of these friends are in senior cohorts because I was also in cohort 11 and I deferred to cohort 13 because it really got challenging. Then some of my friends in the senior course are cohort 10. I think cohort 9 just graduated. I happened to speak to a lady friend of mine. I wanted to find out. She was just about completing foundations, going to specification. I wanted to find out what have you learned? What do you want to specify in? Do you want to go front end? Do you want to go back end? And I think she was amazing. For some of the guys that I spoke to, they were just copying and pasting their way through. But This lady that I spoke to, she was actually in the game. Okay, she was actually in the game, and she was giving this journey her all. She was in it for the win. All right. So after my conversation with her, that is what inspired me to actually do this, for you guys to come out and tell your friends out there that this is possible. We are doing this. Come, let's do this. And when we team up together, when we become one community, when we start helping each other, sharing resources with each other, holding each other's hand, and then going through this journey, that is what makes it possible. Because there is no way you can go on this journey alone. That's impossible. And that is one thing I like about Abena a lot, because she's been able to organize a community of women, and they meet, they study together, they are doing projects together, trying to break concepts together. Sometimes when things get difficult, they reach out to people in the senior course, to the mentors, and then they are working. These ladies, these women are working, okay? And I'm really proud when I see such things happening. Let me throw this question to all of you. Anyone can just pick it up. Do you guys have role models, personal role models that you look up to in this field of tech? Do you have any females, or probably males? Who do you look up to in this field? Do you have role models? Any of you could just pick it up and go. Oh,
Okay, I'll take it. um, okay, so I have multiple role models. When I got in, I didn't see a lot of women like myself. Sadly, I do not know the names of everyone, right? But then on Twitter, there's been people who are sharing their journey. To mention a few, most of them are men. There's Danny, I follow him, I forgot Danny something. He wait a minute. Ugh, I forgot his name. I really would like to mention his name, but then yes, he doesn't have a tech background. I think he was working at maybe a restaurant or McDonald's, somewhere there, right? So he used to work there and he would study for tech first, and then that's when he got into tech, right? And it's also something that he wasn't sure that he could be able to do, right? So he's one of my role models, and there's multiple women who on tech, on Twitter, we call it X now, guys. I'm still catching up to the new name,
yeah,
but yes.
I'm also still trying to catch up to that.
So on Twitter, I find um, different role models who share their tech journey, who share their background from different African countries and non-African countries, right? I do not have specific names, but these people will tell you that I didn't have a background in tech, but then I studied, and this is where I'm at. Now I'm a manager at this job. Now I am working for Microsoft. I started with startups and all of that. These people are my role models. I do not have specific people, but then the whole community has given me people uh, to look up to and to learn from. And I think that that's good too.
That's amazing. I'm gonna take the name of the guy you're trying to mention. I think he's a very wonderful resource, and I'm going to leave his name in the description so that anyone who wants to check him out could just click on the link and then check out his socials. Right?
Okay.
Mariam,
And there are
Abena,
many more
Pamela,
names to add.
go ahead, come again.
Now, I was saying there's still many more names. I'll just have to look for the specific profiles because I do follow them. And then I'm just going to give it to you so that you can link it there.
Definitely, I'm gonna leave his name in the description. Anyone who wants to check them out can definitely check them out. Mariam, Abena, Pamela, do you guys have people you look up to?
Um, well, it's basically the same for me, like Rosita said. For most of these people, they're also on Twitter. Like, interestingly enough, the tech community, I don't know, the what's it called? The data is 50-50. Like for me, I have found that they are quite supportive. Like when you start talking about tech on Twitter, you find people who are like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, how can I help? So, I mean, there's that aspect where people feel like, oh, they are snobbish and like they have an attitude about them. And then they give this impression that tech is all about money and everything. But I actually have people who are constantly willing to contribute, looking to provide support. So, like, yeah, basically, these are my role models. Personally, I was doing self tutoring off YouTube, Free Code Camp, and other resources before I started ALS. So, I mean, I was taking it at my pace. One thing about my learning is that um, I need a lot of motivation, which is why ALS works for me because like there's deadlines. So I'm like, oops, if I don't meet the deadlines, I'm in trouble. But if it's
The
self-motivated,
deadlines actually work for you. I hate the deadlines. I'm telling you. I hate the
sometimes,
deadlines.
oh, is that other way for you?
It is the other way for me, especially with the 24-hour deadlines. It just drives me crazy,
Yeah,
because
I'm a
of
fan.
some of the
But
things that I have to do.
mm, okay, so like basically, if I have to learn for myself, sometimes I wake up and I'm like, today not really. I don't feel like writing code. Then I don't do it. But then Julian is on your neck, like, hey, I need my work by 24 hours. So you're like, oh, okay, then I need then I need to learn. So yes, part of getting into ALS and everything, I want to shout out to my mentor. He hates it when I call him that, but like David, he was like, okay, I see that you're interested in tech because most people walk up to me. He's actually like an Oracle developer. He works with, I'll get the details for you. He's really, really great at what he does. He's partly why I want to go into back end, but like, yeah. Um, so these people, well, for this contest, unfortunately, he's a man. Ideally, you should be looking up to some women role models, but see, some of these are some of the reasons why we have these conversations. So basically, like he was like, hey, if you're serious about this, go for it. Like we need more women in tech, and you're actually interested in learning, so do it. So yeah, him, a couple of other new to tech people who are learning like myself. There's Golda, there's Na. So I do have people. Most of these people I know personally. Most of these people I know through social media. So there's community for it. And once you start, there's this addictive element to it. Like Mariam said, it was a free program. You can drop out at any point, but then you have to focus on your purpose and the goal or why you started in the first place and then see it to completion. So yeah, generally I just look out to the social community available to me and whoever is like taking the journey seriously motivates me.
Oh, that's amazing, Abena. Mariam, do you have anything to say to that? Who do you look up to?
Actually, I have a female role model. She's in cohort 13. I found her by chance when I was looking for resources. Her name is Shaza Ali. She writes blogs about the projects and they're really helpful. So that's how I came across her. And by chance, the day that I found her account on Twitter, she was talking about having a meeting at the Alex hubs in Egypt. So I was like, hey, let me go there and actually meet the people there. And it was an amazing day. She was given a speech about social media presence, and there were lots of men and women there listening to her. So I was like, I really liked her confidence. She was there giving talks, and she was like, only one cohort before me. Like I'm in cohort 14, she's in cohort 13, but she's way like above me in terms of confidence and knowing what she's talking about. And after that meeting, the community that attended the meeting, we made a WhatsApp group chat, and now we share resources there. And most of the time, she's the one actually sharing resources. It's really nice having someone like her to look up to, especially when I'm stuck at projects and I'm like, I have no idea what to do. I'm like, this project, what am I supposed to do? I don't understand anything. And she's like, wait a moment, I'm gonna give you all the resources that you need. And she like disappears and then comes back with 15 links or something like this. Here's this video, here's this article. She's an amazing lady and I really wish her the best. And I really, really hope to be someone like her and be able to help those who are in other cohorts and need like mentorship from their seniors. I want to be a senior like her.
You're definitely gonna be a senior like her. It's just a matter of time because I was in one of your sessions when you were teaching during the learning ambassador sessions, and I've seen your potential. You are an amazing teacher, and I'm not shocked as to how far you've come, even in the program, and how far you're gonna go. I'm definitely gonna share your contacts with some of the tech recruiters friends, recruiter friends that I have, and then agile coaches who are females. I'm looking at the females now because they'll really motivate you to keep pushing forward, right? And I don't think we have a lot of time left. I'm gonna do the final questions, and then we're gonna round up. But before I do that, I want you guys to know that I actually have some female role models in the tech space who motivate me a lot when I read their stories. They make me know that we are actually about to see an entire generation pop up of women in tech who are going to revolutionize the field as we know it. I've already mentioned Ada Lovelace. One name that you guys probably may have heard is Grace Hopper, right? She's a legend. She's a legend. I mean, you guys not reading about her story and listening to me, you're probably wasting your time. Right after this show, you should go read about Grace Hopper. She's amazing. She's a legend. She's inspired you a lot. And then one other woman in the field of tech who inspires me a lot is Annie Isley. She's amazing. I'm not gonna share all the details because I want to just give you teasers. Go read about them. They're amazing. And then you can also read about Mary Wikers. These names are legends in the field of tech, and I could give you a lot, but we don't have a lot of time left right now. So before we wrap up, I want to know what advice, okay, do you have for people like you who are out there who want to break into this field, but for some reason or the other, maybe for someone like Pamela, their mothers, so they're afraid. They feel like I can't do this because I have kids, I have to take care of, I have a business I'm running. Someone like Mariam, maybe someone is afraid to come here because breaking into tech because they feel like they're students. And for some of the courses that you guys are reading, I'm really amazed. Like electronics, I have an engineering background, so I know how very difficult some of the courses can get. You guys are doing those courses and still learning how to program a code. That's very impressive. What advice do you have for your friends out there, people who are mothers, people who are students, people who are workers? Can they do this? What advice do you have for them? If any of you could just pick it up and go, advise your friends out there who are afraid to do what you're doing. Encourage them. Let them know that they can do
Um, should I go?
it.
For me is yes, there's that initial fear that makes you feel like, or intimidation that makes you feel like you can't do it. I think the most important thing is that you should put your mind to it that you can do it. Um, but you also need to do your research even if you do not know anybody directly. I think it's a state of mind to begin with, and you need to do your research. Okay, you just don't start with anything, and it doesn't matter. Like, I do know that, like, I mean, like, you have to be informed, because if you are going to um most people think tech is just coding. So they just start to code, and then they start with a particular language they are not even sure of, and they get scared. Like, if not for the fact that I was in ALS and I'm motivated by um, deadlines and stuff, starting with C as a programming language, oof, that was tough. So some of these things you have to check out for. If you really, really want to go into programming, you need to look out for the languages that you can start with, or the particular aspect of programming that you want to go into. If you are a lawyer, if you have other backgrounds, you are also very resourceful in tech, because like all these um all these aspects, like all these different industries, tech functions in all these other industries, and like they also have the administrative side to tech, so everybody can be resourceful and succeed in the tech industry. But if you basically want to focus on programming, being a developer, coding, you have to do your research. Hopefully, once you do that and you start, there's this open community that are willing to welcome you and encourage you to keep going. So it almost always starts with yourself. But like, yes, I think that personally, I think that is something that if you put your mind to it, you can really do it.
That's awesome, Abena. Rosita, what advice do you have for your friends?
I think most of the times we are usually reluctant to do something because we're afraid that we are going to fail, right? In my case, joining ALX was good, right? It was just me, no one could see me. But then sharing my tech journey on X, oh man, it's difficult to remember it. But then, yeah, sharing my tech journey on X was actually it was scary. I was scared that I'm going to be sharing and my code is not perfect. People are going to laugh at me. And if I do not move to the next round, because ALX is strict, if I do not meet the minimum requirements and move to the next round, everyone, the whole world is going to know that I failed. But I did it scared anyway, right? I joined, and by sharing my journey, I got to meet so many people who wanted to work with me and to teach me. There are so many people who are also inspired by me sharing my journey. I shared my losses, I shared my wins, the struggles. I laughed at myself when I didn't get the code right, and there was always someone there ready to help me, right? So I did it scared anyway. So the advice is that regardless of the fear of failure, just after doing your research, just go for it. If you fail, you're going to learn it. And this after you fail, it's not like you're going to be starting from scratch, right? Let's say you were busy with the simple shell project because ALX at the simple shell is always grilling us about one. But then let's say you are at ALX and you get to the simple shell project and you fail because most of the people tend to fail at that. When you repeat it again, you're no longer starting from scratch. You're starting with the knowledge that you have and you're coming back more stronger. And the exposure after failing or not failing, the exposure to more opportunity is going to rise up because now you're going to see, oh, there's not just software engineering. I can now get into technical writing. Oh, I can now do UX and all of that, right? But then if you do not start, you're not going to be exposed to this type of information because you're always scared of failing. So that's it.
Oh, thank you, Rosita. That was really inspiring. If I wasn't in tech, I was definitely going to take your advice and hop right on because that was very inspiring. Thank you for your journey. Mariam, advise your people. What do you have to tell everybody out there who wants to do what you're doing?
I think my advice would be to set your goals from the beginning, know what you're working for, and always keep that goal at the back of your mind because, like Rosita said, when you fail, when you fall down, you're gonna have you're gonna need to have something to remind you why you are doing this. So having a strong purpose is what keeps you going on. I think when people think of tech, they think of the money, like most of the people think of the money, so that's why they jump into tech. But honestly, if you do not have something that's bigger than that, or if you do not know what you're doing and why you're doing it, it's going to be really difficult for you to keep pushing on. So yeah, just have a purpose and keep working for that purpose. That's all I can say.
That's amazing, Mariam. Pami, please tell us something. Advise your
I'll
people out there.
advise those who or maybe have a similar situation like mine from a poor background, maybe for a poor, even a poor country like ours. I would say you can just try. You can try. You can keep on trying. Never lose focus. It is difficult for someone who doesn't have any motivation, but if you keep on motivating yourself, you can still do it, even if it's really hard. But keep on trying. And that's what I can say for now.
That's amazing, Pamela. All right. So as we bring the whole talk to a close, I want to share a few resources. If you're a female, if you're a woman, and you're watching um, us, there are very wonderful resources out there that will help you and facilitate your journey in this space. of tech. And I'm gonna give you about 7 or 8 of them that are really gonna be helpful. Okay, so what the first one is Girls Who Code. If you go to that website, they're gonna help you, give you every resource you need, especially as a woman. Journey easy. You can also go to Black Girls Code. Then the third one is Women's Coding Collective. I'll put all these links in the description so that you can just click on them, check them out. You can also check out Khan Academy, and you can also check out Coding for Beginners. And then there are more general ones like W3 schools, and you can also check Free Code Camp like Abena and Rosita are using. Then you can also check the Odin project, and there's also Harvard X, a very wonderful platform to learn how to code. So, girls, it was very wonderful having you here today, sharing your journey with us. And I must say that I'm really proud of you guys. What you guys are doing is amazing. You guys are my heroes, my heroines, right? You are warriors. And I want you to know that what you're doing is inspiring a lot of women out there. You are the trailblazers and you are the ones setting the example for them to follow. So I encourage you guys, I urge you on, keep going. When you get tired, let the community's energy feed on the community's energy. We are all gonna go and get to the very end of this journey. At the end of the day, we are all gonna be happy through the struggles, through the pain, through the joys, through the opportunities, and through the community. Right? Thank you, wonderful people, for coming. And we are definitely going to chat on the backstage, and I'll share the contact of the recruiters that I mentioned. And if you are watching, you can shout out in the comment section below. I think someone was actually crashing on Abena while we were going. I saw the comment in the comment below. Someone was crashing on you, and I think Abena, you should probably check the comments and see if maybe you could reach out to your crush. All right. All right, girls, it was wonderful having you here. We are going to chat soon. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for having us.